I'm sure you'll all agree Australians' First Nations artists are amazing. Their art is more than mere paintings, but the expression of the oldest living culture on the planet. Arts Law's program, Artists in the Black, is Australia's only community legal centre which assists First Nations artists protect their human rights in their art and their culture. Mandy Davis's painting, Emu, depicts Mandy's totem. It signifies her connection to country and tells Mandy's story. Art provides a fantastic doorway for all of us to have a closer connection to Australia's First Nations people and their 60,000-year-old culture. Art changes the lives of First Nations people, not only safeguarding their culture, but it also drives sustainable income. But many of Australia's First Nations artists are extremely disadvantaged. I'm sure you're all aware of the appalling statistics around health, housing, employment and education for Indigenous peoples. The popularity of their art, combined with the conditions in which many people live, means the artists are really vulnerable to exploitation. So imagine living in a remote community without legal support and you find out your artwork's been ripped off. A few years ago, Mandy Davis, a Warramai woman from Gloucester in northern New South Wales, contacted Artists in the Black after seeing her emu painting copied without her permission onto a commercial camper van. Mandy was distressed as the company had distorted the image, changed the colours, not attributed her as the artist. And what they had done was also culturally harmful. So we were able to work with a large law firm to provide Mandy with pro bono legal support. At the first pre-trial conference, not only was Mandy represented by a top-tier law firm, but they engaged a leading senior counsel, also pro bono. Can you picture the vehicle company's surprise when Mandy's legal team walked into the room and they saw what they were up against? Well, the final settlement remains confidential, but needless to say, the artwork was removed from the vehicle and from the company's website, and Mandy's bank balance was a lot healthier. And that's what Artists in the Black is all about. Defending the rights of First Nations artists, ensuring they're not exploited, and artists having money in their bank. Being in the black, not in the red. To date, Artists in the Black has provided thousands of First Nations artists and their organisation with legal support. Last year we provided services to 600 First Nations artists, which is approximately 25% of Arts Law's clients. But many First Nations artists live in the most remote places in Australia. So the outreach component of our work is absolutely crucial. You would appreciate how important it is to have direct face-to-face contact with artists on country in order to build their trust and confidence in what we do. So what is it that we do? We travel thousands of kilometres to get out to the communities where the artists live and work, and we talk to them about their rights, help Aboriginal controlled art centres implement strong business practices, and draft wills for artists. That's right, wills. Why wills, you ask? Well, Australian laws don't adequately recognise Indigenous family structures. And having a will takes control, the artist can take back control over what happens after their death. And it actually helps stop fighting in communities and the disruption that happens around the death. The way I explain it, the will is like a letter from the artist to their family, which is read after they've gone. and ensures that their art and their copyright and any income is distributed in a culturally appropriate way. I recall when a very old artist passed away not long after my first Wills trip. And I talked to the family and they said, yes, they were sad, but the will made them feel strong because they knew exactly what the old lady wanted. So, what can we achieve together tonight? Some of the lawyers sitting in the room can help through your pro bono efforts. And that's fantastic, and I applaud the lawyers who are already doing this work. We couldn't do it without you. But pro bono support alone isn't enough. This is where I need your help. Getting out to the communities where the First Nations artists live and work is expensive and time-consuming. There are over 100 First Nations art centres scattered across Australia, and we have only enough resources to get to a few each year. So tonight, with your generosity, if we could raise $15,000, we would be able to reach another 4 remote art centres, 2 in Arnhem Land and 2 in the Kimberleys, and they're highlighted on the map in red. I hope they are. Where we would assist 100 artists with education, contracts and wills. And imagine, if we were to raise $30,000, we would reach another 4 remote locations and another 100 artists. And they should be marked on the map in red. The artists and the art centres are crying out for our support. And with your help, we can make it happen. Not only will you be helping the artists of today build sustainable income streams, moving from being in the red to in the black, you'll also be helping their families and their communities. You'll be empowering them and helping protect First Nation cultures for generations to come. Thank you.